1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Did Mitchell Robinson get that many years?
7
Let's talk about Mitchell
consecutive
Robinson.
losses. The swoon is on. Mitchell Robinson is no longer a Knick. He's now a Boston Celtic. I told you it's going to happen on Wednesday.
You nailed the Wednesday.
Nobody wants to listen to me at all about that. We'll get into that in the time we have. Obviously, more on that tomorrow as well. And the New York Mets are being blown out early in Toronto as well. Tough day to be a New York sports fan for sure. Good afternoon, Big Mac. I know how you are, but how are you today, pal?
I'm miserable.
As you should be.
That was disgusting. This team is disgusting. They don't know how to win. They don't know how to make the winning plays. Both these series, they've lost 7 in a row, swept in a 4-game set at Fenway, swept by the Tigers here at home, and in both finales had opportunities to win the game and cannot make the big play, cannot get the big out. Doval, the guy comes in with an ERA under 1 in his last 10 starts, and he's blowing people away. 102 miles an hour. He gets, with the runner on second base, he gets the first 2 outs. He's 0-2 on a lousy right-handed hitter, and he falls apart and gives up 4 runs.
Yeah,
Now,
walk.
Oh, my God. How does someone lose it like that? How do you go from being dominant 0-2 against a right-handed hitter, and right-handed hitters he's dominated? How do you go from that moment to falling apart in an instant? Yeah. It is so frustrating. And then the at-bat with Cabrera, there's so many things, and I know this isn't the show that we go through so many things.
Not enough time.
And I'll have to go get them, but there are so many things that went into this loss that make me disgusted. But I'll still say, as bad as Doval was, as miserable as the Cabrera bat was, and we find out to start the game, the whole team's sick. You got that? The whole team's got the flu. The whole team ate something bad. The whole team did something, I don't know. So they're limited. They're playing Caballero in center field. They can't go to Jones until late. They got no Schumann, so the manager thinks he can't pinch hit an obvious pinch hitter in a pinch hit situation late in the game.
Goldschmidt. Right.
You got to pinch hit Goldschmidt. And I know I'm all over the place because I'm frustrated. But in the 10th inning, after they get through the 9th, and once they get through that 10th inning, and it's the bottom of the 10th, and you have a runner at third base with less than 2 outs, that's the game right there. I got Doval coming up next. I don't trust him. I know I just said he had an ERA under 1, and he looked dominant. I don't trust him in a big spot to save my life at all. I would never trust that dude. He's untrustable. You cannot pitch him in big situations. He's very shaky. Now, because of the situation, he had to be the next guy. I'm not blaming Boone for that, but you know that's what's coming. I don't care if Schumann's unavailable and because of all the other moves, you don't have an infield to play if he doesn't come through. You're not winning the game if he doesn't come through. Right. That's how I'm viewing the situation. I need that runner to score or I'm losing.
1 out, man on third, bottom of the 10th.
And he has Cabrera, who's 0 for 8, just came up for a cup of coffee because the McMahon has a throat infection and a stomach virus. So, he's up here for a cup of coffee. He's 0 for 7 going into the at-bat, 0 for 8 going into the at-bat, and he strikes out. That's the moment right there. You have to win this game. But of all of that, here's the main crux of it. Rice has been awful. I know he hit a home run last night, and he comes through with a leadoff single in this game, but he had a big opportunity with runners on, 3-pitch strikeout. Bellinger is
and
one for his
Mac,
last.
He takes the first pitch, a fastball down the middle, doesn't swing at it.
Yes.
Swings at a pitch out of the strike zone, and then watches strike 3 go right down the pike, too.
It's a horrendous at-bat. Fastball down the middle, breaking ball in the dirt, swing over that, and then swing right through a fastball right down the middle in a huge spot. Bellinger is lifeless. Bellinger looks awful. They gave Bellinger the day off yesterday after 50-plus straight games, hoping that it could spark him. He looks awful. He's 1 for his last 137. He hasn't had an RBI, Craig, since the year of the flood. I can't remember the last time Bellinger's got an RBI. And all of the ills of this team, all of the question marks of this team are still there, and none of the positives, none of the guys you count on, none of the people you can trust come through in the big spot right now. They don't know how to win. The manager right now doesn't know how to make the move to win. The players don't know how to make the right swing selection or make the right play. They're throwing the ball around the final play of the game practically to make that a 4-run game instead of a 3-run game. Every mistake that you can make, this team is making in critical spots. Oh, and by the way, every single starting pitcher they have faced in the 7-game stretch has been Cy Young and Sandy Koufax.
Right.
Because they have been completely emasculated.
They were 2 hit through, 7 innings today?
Right? Yeah, the starting pitcher, Melton. Troy Melton.
Well, the good
he's
news
pitched
is
fairly well, but he's Troy Melton.
There's good news for you. Even though you're now in a legitimate June swoon.
Yes.
And you've been swept in back-to-back series, which now qualifies as a
100%.
swoon.
No, it's a swoon. I mean,
All right.
listen.
We're swooning. We're swooning.
Does it matter? I'm so tired of this. Who cares if
it
it's
matters.
a swoon?
We're swooning.
It's a 7-game losing
You
streak.
an anti-swoon guy yesterday. You
It's a
said, I want to
7
wait to see we lose back-to-back series.
I said you can't call it a swoon until you lose
Well,
back-to-back.
we lost back-to-back series because they
Now,
lose last night. They lose today.
They're 8-12 in their last 20. I don't know if I'd call that a swoon,
Swooning.
but they've lost 7 in a row. What do I give a damn what you call it?
I'm calling it a swoon, a June swoon.
Call it a swoon.
That's we're going to make T-shirts. We're now in the midst of another June
And I
swoon.
can't explain why it continually happens.
I don't know
can't
either.
explain why year after
Maybe
year
they get bored playing
they
baseball
go
in
through a
June.
stretch. I don't know. And listen, I don't think it's the manager's fault, but at some point it happens every year, and he's the only thing that's not changing.
A couple of things to get to. Obviously, we'll do a lot more tomorrow, but just to give you the lowest hanging fruit, because we've a shortened show today. If you want to talk Yankees, get on the horn. Obviously, 888-808-1019. The afternoon fan line is always made possible by Verizon Business. Take control of your mobile plan with My Biz Plan. Mitchell Robinson signs a 3-year contract. Pros at $47.5 million.
Yeah.
The last year's a player option to go to a hated rival, the Boston Celtics. I told you a deal was coming today. I thought the Knicks were going to find a way to keep him. This is not a, hey, let's yell James Dolan situation, because if we believe that Leon Rose is making basketball decisions, then have faith in Leon Rose.
Yeah.
The reason the Knicks don't give Mitchell Robinson that deal, and we're not going to start attacking Mitchell Robinson, we know he's a flawed player. We know he's not going to play more than 60 games for the Celtics next year, because that's what he is, right? We know he's not going to average in crunch time more than 15 minutes a game, even if he is their starting center, because he gets hurt so much, and he was woefully out of shape in the playoffs this past year when it came to aerobics, right? But if you do sign him to that deal, everyone that's yelling and screaming right now, you have zero roster flexibility. And if we think Leon Rose is the best at maneuvering a roster when he had to, like when he got Jose Alvarado, when Deuce McBride went down, then you have to have some level of faith and trust in Leon Rose to now make this roster whole with not one guy, but now 2 guys. I'm not going to bore you with the guys, they're not household names.
Right.
But there's about 5 or 6, 7 guys that are available that gives the Knicks size behind Karl Anthony Towns. I thought they were going to figure it out. I was wrong on that. Let me put that out there now for everyone attacking me on Twitter. But I still have 100% faith in Leon Rose as the best GM in basketball today, that while it's a loss, while we're going to give Mitchell a standing ovation and a video tribute and a ring when the Celtics do come to the Garden, this is not like losing OG Anunoby or Bridges even, or obviously Jalen Brunson. It is a loss, 100%, but we are talking about a flawed player that only played 13 minutes a game in the postseason. The one thing you can't replace, I don't care who they sign, is his extraordinary ability to get offensive rebounds.
Yes.
That is a loss. And let's remember, the last rebound of Mitchell Robinson's career was off the missed free throw in Game 5 at home to win the series in San Antonio when he got the offensive rebound up by 2, and then the Knicks wind up winning the series.
No, I mean, listen, he's a key piece. It's a great Knick career. He'll always be beloved, part of the championship, second-round pick. Was there for the lousy times. Incredible defender, incredible offensive rebounder.
And good for him he got that contract.
Good for him he got that money. It sucks to see him go to Boston on some level, but I got to be honest with you. I think what makes it easier, and something you just said there, last year I thought he was a key part of getting back to the Eastern Conference Finals. His postseason play was excellent. They won a championship, and I can count on that offensive rebound and a couple of other situations. I don't think he was a key cog to the run.
And he's an offensive liability.
He's an offensive liability. You constantly have to get him off the floor every time you're in the bonus.
Right.
It stinks. I would have rather had him back, but I think as a Knicks fan celebrating a championship, I'm more just like, congratulations, you got the bag. We're going to miss you.
That's how I view it.
Sucks you're going to be playing against us in a Boston uniform, but ultimately we won our championship with you. You're a flawed player. I don't think you impacted the postseason run, this great postseason run, all that much.
Couple key rebounds.
Big key rebounds, no doubt, and they're going to miss him. But I'm happy for him. I'm happy we're champions, and it's really hard to get upset about.
Like,
I trust Leon Rose.
And that's it.
Oh, how are they going to get it back up big? How are they going to get it back up big? He'll find it.
They'll find. And by the way, as much as this is, Dolan and Leon Rose saying we're not going to the second apron, which is a part of this,
it is.
A lot of you just don't understand what the second apron is. I'm not going to get in the weeds on it, But if you gave Mitchell that contract, which would have been ridiculous to him, that kind of money, considering
I think it is,
he's not available as much as a guy making $15 million a year should be available if you count on him that much. You have zero flexibility. If he gets hurt, you can't go get anybody. So we'll get into that obviously more tomorrow. I want to give you that. And then if you missed it, and this is a cowardly move in my opinion, by the owner of the New York Mets, who has been invited on this radio station and this show a dozen times, he decides to go on a podcast that nobody listens to. It's fine. Not a knock on those guys. It just doesn't have an audience. And it does not speak to New York Met fans like WFAN does, whether it's our show or Evan, Sean, and Tiki or Boomer and Greg in the morning, or even Tommy at night or overnight. I don't care who you talk to. If you want to talk to Met fans, you come on WFAN the way Jim Dolan did 3 times in the last 6 months to talk to Knicks fans. So there's a precedent for it. Not that being a little side issue to me. He does not want to speak to anybody on this radio station. He does not want to speak to Met fans. I don't know if he's afraid of it or just chooses not to, or he figured that the podcast team now would curry favor to him, which they typically do. But here's the quick takeaway. Number one, he finally acknowledged publicly there was a problem in the locker room last year between Lindor and Soto. So for all the denials out there, the owner came out and said, I think their relationship is better now, but yes, there was a problem last year with Lindor and Soto. And the second thing that I took out of the interview, and I did watch all of it, it's my job to do that, is the fact that he said pretty much regardless of what happens, David Stearns is going to see out the entire 5 years of his contract as general manager of the New York Mets. And those are the two takeaways.
Yeah, and if I'm a Met fan, I have a tough time swallowing that statement. I have a tough time. I think we all expected him back next year. I'm not saying he has to fire him. Really, I'm not. Even though I think Stearns has done enough to deserve it in some ways, and I know Met fans feel that way, I have no problem saying he's coming back. You cannot say, he's pretty much saying, and he followed that up with, I don't know how next year's going to look. I'm worried about next year.
He is too.
No, that's what he's saying. I'm quoting him.
Yeah.
But in other words, what he's saying is what I told you he would say. This is a 5-year process. I didn't hire Stearns to win a championship in 26. I didn't hire Stearns to compete for a championship in 27. It was, hey, do you remember we made it to the NLCS in 24?
Yeah.
He was part of that too.
That's
How quickly we forget. I hired David Stearns.
Wasn't his team, David Stearns.
I hired Stearns for a 5-year process to transform the organization. And this year sucks, and I'm sorry. And here's a little bit more. Next year might suck too.
That's right. He said I'm very concerned about it.
But it doesn't matter how much it sucks. And it doesn't matter how ugly it gets.
He's coming back.
Because I believe in Stearns, and we're riding this 5-year plan out no matter how ugly it gets.
Yeah, I will
That's
say
a
this.
bold statement.
I forget which guy asked the question or made the comment. They did a good job in this one particular thing. And he goes, well, the year you went to the NLCS, which is really a tale of two cities, is well documented, right? The great run at the end to make that run to the NLCS, et cetera. Sure. That wasn't David Stearns' team.
It was not.
This is David Stearns' team. So a team that he inherited made the run to the NLCS. A team that he created is the worst team in the National League. Anyhow, those are your 3 big stories today. The Yankees have lost 7 consecutive games. The owner of the Mets went on a podcast nobody listens to and said David Stearns is guaranteed being here for the full 5 years, meaning you have 2.5 more years of David Stearns. He did acknowledge the fact that Soto and Lindor did not get along last year despite all the denials by everybody involved. The New York Knicks say bye-bye to Mitchell Robinson, who did put a tweet out saying, I love you, New York. I'll always be a Knick, but I was not going to get this deal from anybody else, and I don't begrudge him on that.
I don't begrudge him a thing.
You have guaranteed money. Go take that money if it's coming your way.
Yeah, I feel good for him.
And obviously, the New York Mets are getting blown out, as they typically do. Get all your calls and all of it. 888-808-1019. Let's say hi to Freddie in Manhattan right now. Freddie, good afternoon. How are you?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing great,
You guys
kid.
are great. You guys are great, may I say, to begin with. You guys make everybody's lives better.
Thank you.
Anyway, what I want to talk about is what the hell is going on with the Yankees? They can't win a game if their life depended on it.
Yeah, well, they don't score a lot of runs. They don't
right
play.
Now the offense
didn't play smart today either.
No,
even on the first or second run, they let it up, throwing the ball to third base.
Yeah,
when you just
look, he's terrible. Cabrera's terrible in the outfield, and today, Cabrera's terrible in the. Caballero is terrible in the outfield, and they've been forced to play him. Today, Caballero, the manager said in the pregame, I was driving in listening to the pregame show, he wasn't going to be in the lineup. Spencer Jones was your starting center fielder. He got sick and couldn't start the game. Right. Caballero made his first start in center field. He's atrocious out there. This is why, I'm telling you, I know it's not Judge, and I'm certainly not going to say it cures all the ills. Thank God Grisham is coming back for Friday. Thank God it's the Minnesota Twins.
That's also true.
And thank God Grisham and McMahon are coming back on Friday, because as much as McMahon can't hit, and I'm not saying Grisham's the savior, he gets big hits and he's a far better hitter than his replacement. Defensively, it's going to help a ton, because I am sick of seeing Caballero in the outfield. He's atrocious. He was the starting center fielder today. He doesn't know how to throw past the cutoff man. Today wasn't necessarily the sloppy game. I know the last play that lets them score the fourth run was sloppy and stupid. But, my God, he's terrible out there. So, they need to stop that nonsense. And Volpe's not hit enough. For all the apologies you wanted him to get, sorry. He's won for his last whatever. I know he got a hit off the pitcher today. He did have a hit late today. When this team is healthy and whole, Caballero is your starting shortstop. That's it. And Volpe belongs in the minors. That's it. You got to have your best defensive shortstop. That's Caballero. Can he hit any? Not really, but at least he can play. And when the team is healthy, I'll care less about his offense. I need him defensively. But I am tired, and it's not the manager's fault. And it's partially the GM's fault, sure. I think it's just injuries and the way things work. They're playing guys out of position right now, and it's hard to watch, along with the offense that's completely inept. And I'm sorry, it's on Ben Rice. Ben Rice has to come through in that situation in the game. He's got second and third, nobody out, and he strikes out on 3 pitches. Or 1 out, excuse me. Second and third, 1 out, he strikes out on 3 pitches. Bellinger's awful right now. Those guys have to come through. Jazz is the only guy who did anything in this game.
Jazz was 2 for 5 today. Stole second, stole third. And then on a wild pitch scores the tying run.
Literally single-handedly tied the game for the Yankees.
I agree. He was fine today.
But to me, I'm sorry, and I'll get on Boone here. I don't care if you have to play Goldschmidt at shortstop. In that moment,
should have pinch hit.
In that moment, I have to win the game right then and there. Now, they might walk him, right? There's a base open. Sanchez, the backup catcher's on deck, and you can't pinch hit for him because then you don't have another catcher. So, you could have bases loaded and still have the game in Sanchez's hand. Not a great situation, but at least you put the walk into play there. The pitcher's got to throw strikes. It's better than leaving the game up to Cabrera. And totally honest with you, another thing too, and again, not to get into the weeds, I don't love the bunting the runner over to third if you're not going to pinch hit him. If you're playing, I don't like the idea that I'm playing for the win by bunting a runner over and leaving it in the hands of Oswaldo Cabrera. I get, you want to put that runner at third, and that's small ball, and that's what you do. That's the game-winning run, fine. But if I'm not willing to pinch hit for him, I don't like the idea of the game relies on whether or not Cabrera can put the game and put the ball in play. I don't like the bunt there. I don't like anything about what I've seen from this team for the last 7 games. It's disgusting. And then, of course, we haven't even talked about it. Cam Schlittler, need a big start from him last night going up against Skubal. The team's lost 5 games in a row.
He was terrible.
Or 6 games, 5 games in a row. And he gives you that performance? And he gives a home run every other inning? Can't get out of the first practically without throwing 40 pitches? That Cam Schlittler, sorry, I love you. Been great. Still the Cy Young favorite for my money. But you got to be better in that spot. These guys have just been, this is why it's a swoon. It's not a swoon because they've lost 7 in a row. It's not a swoon because, wherever they are in the standings and they've fallen out of first place. It's a swoon to me because everything that could go wrong goes wrong.
Well, it's also 7 straight losses.
If they need one, if the starting pitcher doesn't blow it, they've had 2 opportunities if the bullpen could just get outs. The bullpen can't get the outs. The guys can't hit. They come through, but then the stolen base gets thrown out trying to steal second. There's just going to be something that's going to cost them from winning. And we see this too often every stinking year. Does it mean they can't perform in the postseason? No, it does not. But it means they're heading in. They're 3 games from the Twins away from a 4-game set against Tampa Bay that could decide the division.
Sure. And they're in second place right now. Yeah, well, you get a day off tomorrow, and then you get the elixir that has always been the elixir for the New York Yankees, playing against the Twins.
It better be.
But is now 7 consecutive losses. We're officially in swoon territory, everybody.
Oh, who cares about the swoon?
Swooning and Juning. That's what we're doing.
What are you, Clyde? Who cares?
I'm trying to be. 888-808-1019. That's your number to join. Obviously,
He's
Mitch
swooning,
Robinson
jooning, and
out of
booning,
New York
folks.
going to a hated rival. The New York Mets are down 9-0, so they are relevant yet again.
Is it 9 already?
9-0, yeah. Peralta gave up like 30 runs in the first inning again, so not good there. But I did watch a good soccer game today, if that means anything to anybody. So Harry Kane scored 2 goals as England advances. And, of course, Team USA is playing tonight.
And there's been some hockey moves. Vincent Trocheck.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Vincent Trocheck was traded to Utah.
No one knows who that is.
He's a Ranger.
No one knows what the Utah team is, and no one cares. It's July 1st. You're doing hockey?
We're going through all the things that happened.
No, we're going over the important, relevant things that happen.
Yeah, Vincent Trocheck's
Team
relevant.
USA is playing tonight. That people seem to be interested in that.
Yeah.
No one's interested in a guy named Trocheck, who plays hockey. Sorry.
But now he plays it in Utah.
Listen, I know you're upset. I know you're upset.
I am upset.
Be upset about the Yankees.
And also, can I just say something?
Quickly, sure.
Real quick, okay? I am not an exhibit in a museum, okay? I am not some caged animal that's doing tricks for you. You see me out there, you got the full effect. You know how I am as a baseball fan.
I love when you get it closer to the monitor.
Do you know
the TV
why?
To watch
Do you know
every
why?
pitch.
You want to know why?
I don't know
because
why.
I could see you in my peripheral, and I know that you're hearing it before I'm seeing it. And I'm afraid you're going to have a reaction that tips me off.
Yes.
So every pitch, I'm getting closer to the monitor.
To avoid me.
I almost turned to you like 3 times and was going to go, stand over there. And I was like, let me not do that.
We had a couple times where Pete and I were going to jump up and down like they hit a game-winning home run.
Yeah, it's not nice.
In the 9th and the 10th.
Yeah.
We chose not to because you were feeling it. You were in your feelings.
I'm in it.
And I don't want to upset you.
Listen, you can attest. I might be the shill and I might have a positive outlook. In the moment, I am a ball of energy.
Yeah.
I am just a nervous ball of energy. They needed this win today.
More of your calls coming up.
They needed this freaking win.